When I was getting ready to go to my daughter's for dinner, my lawyer texted me, "Call me immediately." I dialed his number. What he told me about my daughter shocked me. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe, hit the hype button, and support this channel with a like. And tell us below, have you ever faced something like this? "Ray, I need you to listen carefully," Elliot Crane said, his voice clipped and professional as always. No small talk. That's how I knew it was bad. I sat down on the edge of my bed, half-dressed, tie hanging loose around my neck. "I'm listening." "Avery came to see me 3 weeks ago. She wanted to consult about guardianship proceedings." He paused, and in that silence I felt something cold slide down my spine. "She's been gathering evidence that you're experiencing cognitive decline." I laughed. Couldn't help it. The sound came out harsh and bitter. "Cognitive decline? Elliot, I just rewired the entire security system for the Henderson building downtown. Alone. In 2 days." "I know that, Ray, but she doesn't need to prove you're actually declining. She just needs to make it look plausible enough to get a court to review it. And she's been careful. Very careful." My hand tightened around the phone. "What do you mean?" "She's been documenting incidents, times you supposedly forgot appointments, confused conversations, financial mistakes you allegedly made. She's building a case file." The room felt smaller suddenly, colder. I'd raised that girl, changed her diapers, taught her to ride a bike, paid for her college, walked her down the aisle. And now she was building a legal case to declare me mentally unfit. Why? The word came out quieter than I intended. "Control, Ray. If she gets guardianship, she controls your finances, your property, your medical decisions. Everything." I stood up and walked to the window. Outside, the street looked normal. People walking dogs, kids on bikes. The world kept turning while mine tilted sideways. "She invited me to dinner tonight," I said. "I know. Ray, listen to me very carefully. Do not sign anything. Do not agree to anything verbally that sounds like you're giving her power of attorney or acknowledging any kind of cognitive issue. And for the love of God, record everything." "Already planning on it." "Good. Call me tomorrow. We need to move fast on this." After he hung up, I stood there for a long time, staring at my reflection in the window. 62 years old. Gray hair, sure, a few more lines around the eyes. But my mind was sharp as ever. Sharper, maybe, because I'd spent 4 decades learning how systems work, and how to break them. Marilyn found me there 10 minutes later. "What's wrong?" she asked. My wife of 37 years could read me like a manual. I told her, everything. Her face went through several expressions, shock, hurt, anger, before settling into something I recognized. The same look she used to get when she was preparing a case back in her paralegal days. Cold, analytical, dangerous. "She's not just betraying you," Marilyn said quietly. "She's betraying both of us, and she thinks we're too old and too trusting to fight back." "She's wrong." "Yes," Marilyn said, and smiled. It wasn't a warm smile. "She is." We went to that dinner, both of us. I wore the tie I'd been holding when Elliot called. Marilyn wore her navy dress and pearls. We looked like what we were, a nice, normal, aging couple going to visit their successful daughter and her polished husband. I had my phone in my pocket, recording app already running. Avery's house was in one of those new developments where every lawn looked identical and every door was painted the same shade of colonial gray. Dylan answered, all teeth and handshake. "Ray! Marilyn! Come in! Come in!" He'd never called me Ray before, always Mr. Holloway or Sir. The familiarity was a tell. They were already practicing treating me like someone they had authority over. Avery appeared from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. My daughter, 31 years old, red hair like her mother, green eyes like my mother, sharp suits and sharper ambitions. "Dad, Mom, you made it!" She hugged me. I hugged her back and felt absolutely nothing. Elliot's words had cauterized something inside me. Dinner was salmon and roasted vegetables, expensive wine I didn't drink, small talk about weather and work. I played my part. The slightly tired father, happy to be there, not quite following every thread of conversation. I let sentences trail off once or twice, asked Dylan to repeat something he'd said clearly. I watched Avery watch me, saw her eyes flick to Dylan's, saw the tiny nod she gave him. They were cataloging, recording their own evidence. After dessert, Avery brought out a folder. "Dad, Mom, Dylan and I wanted to talk to you about something important." "Of course, honey," I said. Kept my voice warm and a little vague. "We've been thinking about the future, about making sure you're both taken care of as you get older." She opened the folder and pulled out several documents. We had some papers drawn up, nothing major, just precautionary stuff. Power of attorney, healthcare directives, that kind of thing. Dylan leaned forward. "It's really just about making sure that if anything happens, someone you trust can make decisions. Standard planning stuff. Everyone should have it." I picked up the papers, scanned them. My eyes might look old, but they could still read fine print. These weren't standard forms. They were immediate and irrevocable transfers of authority. Sign these, and Avery would have complete control, not just if something happened. Right now. "This seems like a lot," I said slowly. "Can I take these home and look them over?" Avery's smile tightened. "Dad, it's really straightforward. Dylan's friend who's a lawyer looked them over. Everything's fine." "I'm sure it is, honey, but I'd still like to show them to Elliot. He handles all our legal stuff." "Mr. Crane is getting older too, Dad," Dylan said. "No offense, but you might want someone with a more current practice to review this kind of thing?" Translation. They didn't want Elliot anywhere near these documents. "Still," I said, and put the papers back in the folder. "I'd feel better having him take a look." The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. "Dad," Avery's voice had an edge now, "this is important. We're trying to help you." "I know you are, sweetie." "Then sign the papers." "I will, after Elliot looks at them." She stood up abruptly. "You're being difficult." "No," I said, and my voice was still calm, still warm. "I'm being careful. There's a difference." Dylan put his hand on Avery's arm, gentle, restraining. They'd planned for this possibility, I realized. Had a whole script ready. "Mr. Holloway," Dylan said, and now the warmth was gone from his voice, too. "Avery's concerned about some things she's noticed. Memory issues, confusion. We just want to make sure you're protected." "From what?" "From making mistakes that could hurt you financially or legally." I looked at my daughter, really looked at her. "Avery, do you think I'm mentally unfit?" She hesitated. Then, "I think you're getting older, Dad. We all are. And I think it would be irresponsible not to plan ahead." "That's not what I asked." "I think," she said carefully, "that you've been showing signs that concern me." "Give me an example." "You forgot my birthday last month." "No, I didn't. I sent you flowers, yellow roses. They were delivered at 10 in the morning." She blinked. You forgot our lunch date, 2 weeks ago." "You canceled that lunch, Avery. You texted me the night before, said you had a work emergency." I pulled out my phone, still recording, pulled up her text, showed it to her. She looked at Dylan, back at me. Her face was flushed now. "There have been other things," she said. "Name them." "Dad, name one thing I actually forgot or got confused about. One real thing." Silence. "You can't," I said quietly, "because I haven't forgotten anything. I haven't been confused. I've been exactly the same as I've always been. But you need me to be failing, don't you? You need me to be incompetent so you can take over." Marilyn stood up. "We should go." "Mom," Avery started. "Don't," Marilyn said, and her voice was ice. "Don't you dare." We left. No goodbyes, no hugs. I had the recording, I had the documents, and I had absolute clarity about what was happening. In the car, Marilyn was quiet for a long time. Then, what do? We make sure she never gets the chance to try this again. How? I pulled into our driveway, sat there with the engine running. She thinks she's playing chess, making careful moves, building a strategy. And? She doesn't realize I built security systems for 40 years. I know every lock, every password, every access point in my life, and I'm about to change all of them. The next morning, I started dismantling her access piece by piece. First, the bank. I walked into First National at 9 sharp before the real crowds hit. Sandra behind the counter had been there for 15 years. She knew me. Ray, how can I help you today? I need to remove someone from my authorized contact list, I said. My daughter. Her smile faltered. Oh, is everything all right? Just being cautious, Sandra. Getting older, you know. Want to tighten up security. It took 20 minutes and 3 forms. By the time I left, Avery couldn't even call to check my account balance. Every access required my voice verification and a passphrase only Marilyn and I knew. Next, the investment accounts, the safety deposit box, the property records. Every single system I'd given her access to over the years when she was trustworthy, when she was still my daughter instead of whatever she'd become. By lunch, she was locked out of everything. I called Elliot from the car. I need to file something, I said. Today. What kind of something? A legal freeze on any power of attorney requests, guardianship petitions, or competency evaluations filed by anyone related to me. That's aggressive, Ray. She's going to file anyway. You know she is. This way, when she does, it's going to trigger an automatic review of her motives, make her explain why she's trying to take control of a man who just filed documentation proving he's competent enough to legally block her. Silence on the other end. Then, you've been thinking about this. All night. Come to my office, 2 o'clock. Bring Marilyn. We spent 3 hours with Elliot. By the end, I'd signed documents that essentially put up a legal wall between Avery and any control over my life. But more importantly, I'd created a paper trail. Every move she'd make from now on would look suspicious. Predatory. This is good work, Ray, Elliot said as we were leaving. But understand, this is defensive. If she really wants to push this, she'll find a way to escalate. I'm counting on it. He gave me a long look. What are you planning? To let her hang herself with her own rope. That evening, Avery called. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. Again. On the 5th try, I picked up. Hi, honey? Dad. Her voice was tight. I tried to call the bank today. They said I've been removed from your contact authorization. That's right. Why? Security reasons. Security? Dad, I'm your daughter. I know who you are, Avery. Pause. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm being careful about who has access to my accounts, like you suggested last night. Planning ahead. That's not... She stopped, regrouped. Dad, I'm worried about you. Last night you seemed confused, defensive. That's not like you. I smiled. She couldn't see it, but I smiled. I wasn't confused, Avery. I was clear, maybe for the first time in a while. What did Mr. Crane tell you? There it was, the real question. That I should protect myself. From what? From people who might not have my best interests at heart. Long silence. I'm trying to help you, she said finally. No, I replied quietly. You're trying to help yourself. There's a difference. I hung up. Marilyn was standing in the doorway. She'll escalate now. Yes. Are you ready for that? I thought about the documents in Elliot's office, the recordings on my phone, the locks I'd changed, the access I'd revoked, the trail I was building. Yes, I said. I am. For 2 days, nothing happened. No calls, no visits. The silence felt like the moment before a storm breaks. On the third day, I got a text from Dylan. "Ray, we need to talk. Can I come by?" I showed it to Marilyn. "He's coming alone," she said. "That's interesting. Thinks he can intimidate me man to man." "Can he?" I looked at my wife. "What do you think?" She smiled. Not warmly. I texted back, "Come by tomorrow, 10 a.m. He showed up at exactly 10, wearing a suit like he was coming from court. Power play. Trying to look authoritative. I opened the door in jeans and an old work shirt. "Dylan, come in." He followed me to the living room. Didn't sit when I gestured to a chair. Another power play. Stay standing. Loom. "Ray, I'm going to be direct with you. I appreciate that. Avery is hurt and concerned. She feels like you're shutting her out for no reason." "There's a reason." "Which is?" "She tried to get me to sign documents that would give her complete control of my life. When I refused, she suggested I was mentally unfit. Those seem like pretty good reasons to me." Dylan's jaw tightened. "That's not how it happened." "That's exactly how it happened. I have it recorded." His eyes widened slightly. "Got him." "You recorded a private dinner?" In my own defense, yes. Perfectly legal in this state, as you probably know. He took a breath, recalibrated. "Ray, I'm trying to help you understand something. Avery isn't your enemy. But she is worried. We both are. And if you keep refusing to let anyone help you, if you keep acting paranoid and defensive, that's just going to strengthen the case that you need intervention." "Is that a threat?" "It's reality. This can go one of two ways. You can work with us voluntarily, make this easy, make it friendly. Or Avery can go through legal channels and make it official. Either way, she's trying to protect you." "From what?" "From yourself. From making bad decisions. From being taken advantage of by people who don't care about you." I smiled. "People like my daughter and son-in-law? That's not— Dylan, I want you to leave now. Ray, I want you to leave my house, and I want you to tell Avery something for me." He waited. "Tell her that every move she makes from here on, I'm documenting. Every call, every threat, every attempt to portray me as incompetent. Tell her that I've already filed legal protections, and if she keeps pushing this, she's going to wish she hadn't. You can't threaten. I'm not threatening anyone. I'm informing you of reality, just like you tried to inform me." I opened the door. "Now get out." He left, but at his car he turned back. "You're making a mistake, Ray. Avery's trying to help you. Fighting her is only going to hurt you in the end." "We'll see," I said, and closed the door. Marilyn had been listening from the kitchen. She came out now, her face pale. "He as much as said they're going to file for guardianship no matter what you do." "I know." "Ray, what if they win? What if a judge believes them?" "They won't." "How can you be sure?" I pulled out my phone, played back the recording of Dylan's visit, his threats thinly veiled as concern, his implication that they'd pursue this whether I cooperated or not. "Because they keep giving me ammunition," I said. "Every time they try to pressure me, they prove this isn't about my welfare. It's about control, and when the time comes, I'll prove it." That night, I couldn't sleep. Lay in bed staring at the ceiling while Marilyn breathed quietly beside me, thinking about the baby I'd held 31 years ago, the toddler who called me daddy, the teenager who rolled her eyes but still hugged me goodnight, the woman who'd asked me to walk her down the aisle. When had she become this person? Or had she always been this way, and I just hadn't wanted to see it? My phone buzzed on the nightstand. Text message from Avery. "Dad, please, can we talk? Really talk? I miss you." I stared at those words for a long time, felt something crack open in my chest. Maybe. Then another text came through, this one from an unknown number, just a video file, no message. I almost didn't open it. Something told me not to, but I did anyway. The video was short. Phone camera, shaky quality. Avery and Dylan sitting in their kitchen. Recent, maybe yesterday. He actually recorded us, Dylan was saying. Avery laughed. Actually laughed. Of course he did. He's paranoid. That'll help. What if he fights this? He won't. Or if he does, it'll just prove he's irrational. Either way, in 6 months, we'll have control. She took a sip of wine. He's old, Dylan. He's slow. He doesn't understand how this works. And if his lawyer, Crane, is 70, he's probably going senile too. No judge is going to listen to a paranoid old man and his ancient lawyer over documented evidence and legitimate family concern. So we just keep pushing? We keep documenting. Every time he refuses help, every time he acts suspicious, every time he isolates himself, we document it. Let him keep building his own case against himself. Dylan raised his glass. To handling the old man. Avery clinked hers against it. To inheritance planning. They both laughed. The video ended. I sat there in the dark, phone screen glowing in my hand. That crack in my chest? It sealed, calcified, turned to stone. She'd sent that "I miss you" text while having wine and laughing about manipulating me. I thought about waking Marilyn, showing her, but she needed sleep. This could wait until morning. Instead, I got up, went downstairs, made coffee even though it was 2 a.m., sat at the kitchen table with my laptop, and I started planning. Not defense anymore. War. By the time Marilyn came downstairs at 6, I had 12 pages of notes, 3 spreadsheets, and a timeline mapped out in detail. She looked at my face, at the laptop, at the coffee pot I'd emptied twice. What happened? I showed her the video. She watched it twice. Her hands shook slightly when she handed the phone back. Where did you get this? Unknown number. Someone sent it to me. Who? Don't know. Don't care. Might be someone who doesn't like them. Might be someone who feels guilty about knowing what they're planning. Doesn't matter. Ray? She's not confused, Marilyn. She's not worried. She's calculating. She's been planning this for months, maybe longer, and she thinks I'm too old and too trusting to stop her. My wife sat down across from me. What are you going to do? Everything I've been doing, but smarter. She wants to build a case that I'm incompetent? I'm going to let her. I'm going to let her think it's working. And while she's collecting her fake evidence, I'm going to collect real evidence of what she's actually doing, which is exploitation, manipulation, attempted elder abuse, financial predation. I pulled up one of my spreadsheets. Look, every call, every visit, every threat, every pressure tactic, I've documented it all. Times, dates, witnesses when applicable, recordings where legal. She's not protecting me. She's stalking control of my assets, and I can prove it. Marilyn studied the spreadsheet. Her legal training kicked in. This is good, but Ray, she's going to file soon. We need to move faster. No, I said. We need to let her file first. What? Why? Because right now this is a private family dispute. The moment she files legal action against me, claiming I'm unfit and need guardianship, it becomes a matter of public record, and everything I submit in response becomes evidence, including recordings of her laughing about manipulating the old man. Understanding dawned in Marilyn's eyes. You want her to commit first. She's already committed. I just want to make it official. Let her file her petition. Let her submit her fake evidence. Let her stand in front of a judge and claim she's doing this out of love and concern. I leaned back. And then I'll bury her with the truth. That's risky. What if the judge believes her before you can present your side? That's why we need Elliot. He'll make sure I get a full hearing before any temporary orders are issued, and in that hearing, we'll present everything. Marilyn was quiet for a long moment. Then, you're not trying to stop her anymore. No. You're turning this around, making her actions into the evidence. Yes. Ray, this could destroy your relationship forever. I thought about Avery laughing, to handling the old man. clinking glasses, planning to take everything I'd built, everything I'd worked for, everything I was. "There's no relationship left to destroy," I said quietly. She took care of that herself. At 9 o'clock, I called Elliot, told him about the video. "Jesus, Ray, where did you get this?" Anonymous source. "That might not be admissible." "Don't need it to be. I just need you to know what we're really dealing with. She's going to file, Elliot, soon, and when she does, I need you ready to counterpunch hard." "What do you want to do?" "File our own petition, not for guardianship, for a protective order against financial exploitation, and I want to submit everything, the recordings, the documents she tried to get me to sign, the timeline of her pressure tactics. Everything." Silence on the line. "Elliot? Ray, what you're describing, that's a nuclear option. You're essentially accusing your daughter of elder abuse. Because that's what this is. It will destroy her reputation, her career, everything. She was prepared to destroy my autonomy, my dignity, my life. You think I owe her better than she was willing to give me?" Another pause. Then, "No, I don't. All right, give me 2 days to prepare the filing. And Ray, don't communicate with her at all during that time. Nothing. No texts, no calls, no responding to her messages. From here on out, everything goes through lawyers. Understood?" I hung up and found Marilyn watching me. "No going back after this," she said. "No." "You're sure?" I thought about 31 years, birthday parties and Christmas mornings and proud moments at graduations. I thought about the daughter I'd loved. Then I thought about to inheritance planning and laughter in a kitchen. "I'm sure," I said. For the next 2 days, my phone lit up constantly. Texts from Avery, calls from Dylan, voice messages that started concerned and grew progressively more frustrated. I didn't respond to any of them. On the 3rd day, Elliot called. "It's done. I filed this morning. She'll be served by end of business today." "What about her petition?" "She filed yesterday. Didn't you get notified?" Something cold settled in my stomach. "No. They probably sent it to your old address, the one she had listed. I'll have my assistant forward you the copy." He paused. "Ray, it's bad. She's claiming severe cognitive decline, unsafe living conditions, financial irresponsibility. She's even got a doctor's statement." "From who?" "Dr. Karen Fisher. Says she's been your physician for 5 years. I've never heard of her." "Exactly. I'm already pulling records to prove you've been seeing Dr. Morrison at Memorial Clinic. But this shows how far she's willing to go. She found some doctor willing to sign off on an evaluation she claims you had." "That's fraud." "Yes, it is, and we're going to prove it." "When's the hearing?" 2 weeks. Judge Catherine Reeves presiding. I know Reeves. She's tough, but fair. Doesn't like people wasting her time. This could go well for us." After he hung up, I pulled up the petition on my email. Read through it carefully. It was thorough, detailed, convincing, if you didn't know the truth. Avery had documented dozens of incidents of forgetfulness, confusion, and poor judgment. Some were complete fabrications, others were distortions of normal events. That lunch, she claimed I'd forgotten, listed as failure to appear at scheduled family obligation, indicating loss of temporal awareness. The birthday flowers? Never mentioned, only the forgotten birthday. She'd built a narrative, carefully, methodically, and if I were actually declining, it would look exactly like this. Smart. Except she'd made one crucial mistake. She'd underestimated who she was dealing with. I spent the next week preparing, pulled every receipt, every calendar entry, every email and text that disproved her claims. Built my own timeline, cross-referenced against hers, showing the truth behind each incident. Marilyn helped. Her paralegal skills hadn't dulled. She organized everything into a binder with tabs and highlights, evidence flagged and cross-referenced. "This is airtight," she said on day 6. "Even if they try to argue half of it, you've got backup for the backup." Good, because she's not going to go down easy. No, Marilyn agreed. She's not. On day 8, I got a visitor, Dylan's father, Martin Brooks. I'd met him maybe 5 times over the years. Wealthy developer, used to getting his way. He stood on my doorstep in a $1,000 suit, looking at me like I was something that needed to be cleaned up. "We need to talk," he said. "I don't think we do. This situation with Avery has gotten out of hand. I agree, she should drop her petition. That's not going to happen, but we can make this easier. For everyone." "How?" He pulled out a check, already filled out, made out to me. 6 figures. "Sign over power of attorney to Avery, drop your counterclaims, take this money and go enjoy your retirement. Everyone walks away happy." I looked at the check, at him. "You think you can buy me out of my own life? I think you're being stubborn about something that's inevitable. You're getting older, Ray. Avery's being realistic about that. Why fight it?" "Because I'm not declining, I'm not incompetent, and I'm not for sale." "Everyone's for sale." He pushed the check toward me. "Stop embarrassing yourself and your daughter. Take the money. Get off my property." His face hardened. "You're making a mistake. Avery will win this. She has resources, lawyers, evidence." "So do I. Not like hers, not like ours. You're a retired security technician fighting against people who know how the system works. You're going to lose, Ray, and when you do, you'll have nothing. Take the check." "No." He stared at me for a long moment, then pocketed the check. "Your funeral." After he left, I called Elliot again. "They're getting desperate," I told him. "Martin Brooks just tried to bribe me to drop everything." "Did you record it?" "Every word." "Perfect. We'll add it to the file. Shows this isn't about your welfare. It's about control and convenience." He paused. "Ray, they're going to come at you hard in that courtroom. Are you ready for that?" "Yes." "I mean really ready. They're going to paint you as paranoid, irrational, possibly unwell. They're going to make Avery look like a devoted daughter trying desperately to help. It's going to hurt." "I'm ready," I said again. And I was. "No, you didn't. You knew exactly what you were doing, and you did it anyway. Please, we can still fix this. Drop the countersuit. I'll withdraw my petition. We can go back to—" "There's no going back. You made sure of that." She stood there, shoulders shaking, mascara running down her cheeks. Part of me wanted to comfort her. The father part. The part that remembered holding her when she cried as a child. But that part was buried now, under evidence and recordings and betrayal. "Go home, Avery," I said quietly. "I'll see you in court tomorrow." I closed the door, stood there listening to her cry on the other side. Then her footsteps, then her car starting. Marilyn came down the stairs. Was that smart, showing her the video? She needed to know I'm not clueless, that I see exactly what she's doing. It might make her more aggressive tomorrow. Good. Let her be aggressive. Let her show the judge who she really is. That night, I actually slept. Deep and dreamless. Woke up at 6, feeling clearer than I had in weeks. Court was at 10. Elliot picked us up at 9. We drove in silence, the city sliding past the windows. "Remember," Elliot said as we parked, "stay calm. Don't let them provoke you. Answer questions simply and directly. Don't elaborate unless asked." "I know." "And Ray, whatever happens in there, whatever they say about you, keep your composure. The moment you lose your temper, you prove their point." "I won't lose my temper." The courtroom was smaller than I expected. Wood paneling and fluorescent lights. Judge Reeves was already at the bench, reading through documents. 50s, gray hair pulled back, reading glasses on a chain. Avery was there with Dylan and 2 lawyers I didn't recognize. Expensive suits, big firm energy. Martin Brooks sat behind them. Moral support or intimidation, hard to say. They all looked at me when I walked in. I looked back, no expression. We sat. Elliot arranged papers on our table. Marilyn took my hand under the table. squeezed. "All rise," the bailiff called. Judge Reeves looked up. "Be seated. We're here on the matter of Holloway guardianship petition. Ms. Holloway is petitioning for guardianship of her father, Raymond Holloway, citing cognitive decline and inability to manage his affairs. Mr. Holloway has filed a counter-petition alleging financial exploitation and manipulation." She looked at both tables. "This is a serious matter. I expect evidence, not emotion. Counselors, keep your clients in check." "Yes, Your Honor," from both sides. "Ms. Holloway's counsel, you filed first. Present your case." Avery's lawyer stood, tall woman, sharp eyes. "Your Honor, will demonstrate through documented evidence and expert testimony that Mr. Holloway has experienced significant cognitive decline over the past 18 months. His daughter, out of genuine concern and love, is seeking guardianship to protect him from potential exploitation and poor decision-making." She presented their case methodically, the doctor's statement claiming I'd been evaluated and showed signs of dementia. The timeline of incidents Avery had documented. Character witnesses, friends of Avery's who claimed to have witnessed me being confused or forgetful. It was thorough, convincing. If I didn't know better, I'd believe it myself. Then she called Avery to testify. My daughter walked to the stand, swore her oath, sat down looking small and sad and concerned. "Ms. Holloway, can you describe your relationship with your father?" "He's always been my hero," Avery said softly. "Growing up, he was the one I could count on. Smart, capable, always there when I needed him." "And when did you first notice changes?" "About a year and a half ago. Small things at first. He'd repeat stories he'd just told. Forget appointments. Get confused about what day it was." "How did that make you feel?" "Scared and sad. But I thought maybe it was just normal aging." "When did it become more serious?" 6 months ago. He forgot my birthday completely. Not just the gift. He didn't remember it was my birthday at all. Then he missed a lunch we'd planned. Started becoming suspicious of people trying to help him. Paranoid almost." "What did you do?" "I tried to talk to him about seeing a doctor. He refused. Said there was nothing wrong. That's when I realized this was more serious than I thought." "And the documents you presented at dinner?" "Standard planning documents. My lawyer said everyone should have them. I just wanted to make sure that if something happened, someone could help him." "How did he react?" "He became angry. Accused me of trying to steal from him. It was like he didn't know me anymore." She dabbed at her eyes. "Perfect performance. Ms. Holloway, why are you pursuing this guardianship?" "Because I love my father, and I can't watch him destroy himself through poor decisions or be taken advantage of by people who don't care about him. I just want him safe and cared for." "Thank you. No further questions." Elliot stood. "Your Honor, I have cross-examination." "Proceed." Elliot walked toward Avery slowly. "Ms. Holloway, you testified your father forgot your birthday. Is that correct?" "Yes." "Yet you have no record of the flowers he sent you that day?" She hesitated. I don't remember receiving any flowers." "You don't remember? Or they weren't sent?" He pulled out a receipt. "This is from Morton's florist. Yellow roses delivered to your address on your birthday at 10 a.m., signed for by you. Does this refresh your memory?" Her face colored. Maybe I forgot." "So you forgot? But you're certain your father forgot? Which is it?" "I misspoke. I meant he didn't call." "But he did call. At 8:30 p.m. that evening. The call lasted 6 minutes. Are you saying you don't remember a 6-minute conversation with your father on your birthday?" Silence. "Ms. Holloway, you mentioned a missed lunch. When was that?" 2 weeks before the dinner at my house." "And you're certain he forgot?" "Yes." Elliot held up a phone. "This is a screenshot of a text message you sent your father the night before that lunch. It says, and I quote, 'Dad, So sorry, but I have to cancel tomorrow. Work emergency. Can we reschedule? Do you remember sending that? Avery's lawyer stood. Your Honor, relevance? Goes to credibility, Elliot said smoothly. The witness claims her father forgot an appointment. I'm showing that the appointment was canceled by her. Overruled. Answer the question, Ms. Holloway. I must have misremembered. You misremembered, just like you misremembered the flowers? Elliot stepped closer. How many other incidents in your documentation are actually misrememberings? I didn't. You submitted a statement from Dr. Karen Fisher claiming she evaluated your father. Has Dr. Fisher ever met your father? I don't know. You don't know? But you submitted her statement as evidence. He turned to the judge. Your Honor, we have a sworn affidavit from Dr. Morrison, Mr. Holloway's actual physician of 15 years. Dr. Morrison states he has evaluated Mr. Holloway as recently as last month and found 0 signs of cognitive impairment. We also have proof that Dr. Fisher has never met or evaluated Mr. Holloway. That statement is fraudulent. The judge's expression hardened. Elliot continued. Ms. Holloway, you testified that you're doing this out of love and concern for your father's welfare. Is that your only motivation? Yes. Not financial gain? No. So you weren't interested in controlling his assets? I wanted to protect them. Protect them or control them. He pulled out the documents from the dinner. These papers you tried to get your father to sign, they weren't standard planning documents, were they? My lawyer said, your lawyer said, or you knew. These documents would have given you immediate and irrevocable power of attorney, complete control over all of his finances, property, and medical decisions, not if something happened. Right then. Did you disclose that to your father? He could have read them, but you told him they were just precautionary. Isn't that minimizing what they actually were? She didn't answer. Ms. Holloway, I'm going to play you a recording. This is from the dinner at your home. He signaled the bailiff, who started the audio. My voice, tired and careful. This seems like a lot. Can I take these home and look them over? Avery's voice. Dad, it's really straightforward. Dylan's friend who's a lawyer looked them over. Everything's fine. Dylan's voice. Mr. Crane is getting older too. No offense, but you might want someone with a more current practice. My voice again. Still, I'd feel better having him take a look. Avery's voice, sharp now. You're being difficult. The recording stopped. Does that sound like someone concerned about her father's welfare? Elliot asked. Or someone frustrated that he wouldn't sign away his rights? Avery's lawyer stood again. Your Honor, this is harassment. Counselor Crane is establishing motive. I'll allow it. Continue. Elliot pulled out his phone. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence. A video that was anonymously provided to Mr. Holloway. He played it. The entire courtroom heard Avery laugh. Heard her say, handling the old man. Heard her toast to inheritance planning. The silence afterward was profound. Judge Reeves looked at Avery. Ms. Holloway, would you like to explain that video? It was taken out of context. What context makes handling the old man and toasting to inheritance planning sound like concern for your father's welfare? We were frustrated. That's clear. What's also clear is that this petition wasn't filed out of love. It was filed for control. She turned to Avery's lawyer. Counselor, unless you have something that contradicts what I've just heard, I'm ready to rule. Your Honor, we have character witnesses. Who will testify to what? More misremembered incidents? No. I've heard enough. She looked at me. Mr. Holloway, would you approach the bench? I stood, walked forward. Mr. Holloway, I've reviewed all the evidence in this case. I've listened to testimony. I've watched that video. And I've read the petition you filed against your daughter. Here's my ruling. The guardianship petition is denied. There is no credible evidence of cognitive decline. What there is evidence of is manipulation, pressure, and attempted exploitation. She paused. I'm also granting your counterpetition. I'm issuing a protective order prohibiting Avery Holloway and Dylan Brooks from accessing your financial accounts, medical records, or property without your explicit written consent. Furthermore, I'm referring this matter to the District Attorney's Office for investigation of potential elder abuse, fraud, and filing false statements. Avery gasped. Her lawyer touched her arm. Ms. Holloway, Judge Reeves continued, you came into my courtroom claiming to love your father while simultaneously trying to strip him of his autonomy. That video shows your true motivation. I will not be party to elder abuse disguised as concern. We're adjourned. She stood. Everyone stood. I turned around, looked at Avery. Her face was white. Dylan was already moving toward the door. Martin Brooks looked furious, but Avery just stared at me. Broken. I felt nothing. We left the courtroom. Outside, in the hallway, Elliot shook my hand. Well done, Ray. That went better than I hoped. Thank you. They're probably going to appeal. Let them. I have more evidence where that came from. He nodded. I'll keep you posted. Ray, you won. You protected yourself. Yes, I said. I did. Marilyn and I drove home in silence. Inside, she made tea. We sat at the kitchen table, the same place I'd sat 3 weeks ago when this all started. It's not over, she said. No. The DA investigation will take months. There might be criminal charges, definitely civil implications. I meant for you, for us. I knew what she meant. No, it's not. Do you regret it? I thought about the question, about Avery's face in that courtroom, about the daughter I'd lost long before today. No, I said. I don't. The DA's office moved faster than Elliot expected. Within a week, Detective Sarah Brennan called me. Mr. Holloway, I need to ask you some questions about your daughter's petition. We met at a coffee shop near the courthouse. She was younger than I expected, early 30s, with sharp eyes that reminded me uncomfortably of Avery. Tell me everything, she said. I did, start to finish, showed her my documentation, my recordings, the timeline I'd built. She took notes on a tablet. This is thorough. 40 years building security systems teaches you to document everything. Your daughter's lawyer is claiming this was all a misunderstanding, that she genuinely believed you were declining. Then she's lying. You saw the video. I did, but defense attorneys are good at creating reasonable doubt. Heat of the moment statements, frustration, not actual intent. What about the fraudulent doctor's statement? That's stronger. We're investigating Dr. Fisher now. If she falsified an evaluation, that's a crime. If? Detective Brennan looked at me. Mr. Holloway, I believe you. I think your daughter tried to manipulate the system, but proving criminal intent is harder than proving she made mistakes. I need you to understand that. What do you need from me? Patience. Let us build the case properly. Don't contact your daughter. Don't respond if she contacts you. And if anything new happens, any threats, any pressure, anything, you call me immediately. She gave me her card. We shook hands. One question, I said. Who sent me that video? We're trying to determine that. Whoever it was knew what they were doing. The file had metadata stripped, sent from a burner email account that bounced through 3 proxies. Someone who wanted me to know the truth. Or someone who wanted your daughter destroyed. We don't know yet. After she left, I sat there with my coffee getting cold. Someone out there had helped me. Someone who had access to that video. Someone in Avery's circle. But who? And why? My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. You're welcome. I stared at it. Typed back, who is this? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Then, someone who knows what it's like to be betrayed by family. Good luck, Ray. The number was disconnected when I tried to call it. At home, Marilyn was on her laptop at the kitchen table. Look at this, she said. It was a news article. Local paper. Prominent local woman under investigation for elder abuse. They didn't name Avery, but it was obvious. The details matched perfectly. Her career's over, Marilyn said quietly. Yes. Her reputation. Her marriage, probably. Yes. Ray, does that feel good? Does winning feel like you thought it would? I sat down across from her. I didn't do this for revenge. Didn't you? I did it to protect myself. She forced this. Every step of the way she forced it. I know. But now she's paying the price. And it's not just legal consequences, it's everything. She was willing to do the same to me. I know that too. Marilyn closed her laptop. I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm asking if winning feels like justice or just more loss. I didn't answer, because I wasn't sure myself. Over the next 2 weeks, things unraveled for Avery in ways I hadn't anticipated. Dylan filed for divorce, quick and brutal. His family's lawyers made sure everyone knew he was the innocent party, manipulated by his wife. Avery's firm put her on administrative leave. Pending investigation. Corporate code for we're cutting ties. She lost the house, had to move into an apartment. Dylan kept everything in the settlement. Martin Brooks publicly disowned both of them. Damage control for his business reputation. I knew all this because Elliot kept me informed. In case she tries to contact you, he said. She didn't. Radio silence, like she'd disappeared. Until 3 weeks after the hearing, when she showed up at my door at midnight. I almost didn't answer, but something made me open it. She looked destroyed, thinner, older, eyes hollow. I'm not staying, she said. I just need to say something. I waited. I convinced myself you were declining because it was easier than admitting what I was really doing, taking advantage, planning ahead, making sure I got what I thought I deserved. Her voice was flat, empty. I told myself I earned it. Put up with your boring stories, your old-fashioned views, your constant advice. I thought, someday this will all be mine anyway. Why wait? Avery, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I know I don't deserve it. I just wanted you to know that I know what I did. I know what I am. She turned to leave, then stopped. The video. It was Dylan's brother. He sent it to you. He never liked what we were doing. Tried to talk us out of it. When we wouldn't stop, he made sure you knew. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know who helped you. And because I'm leaving, moving to Seattle, starting over if that's even possible. You won't see me again. She walked away, got in her car, drove off. I stood there in the doorway until Marilyn came up behind me. Was that her? Yes. What did she want? To confess, and to say goodbye. How do you feel? I closed the door, locked it. Empty. Do you want to stop the investigation? Tell them you don't want to press charges? I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I said finally. She needs to face consequences. Real ones. If I let her walk away, she'll just do this to someone else someday. That's probably true. But I don't feel good about it. You're not supposed to. You're not a monster, Ray. You're just someone who refused to be a victim. Maybe that was true. Maybe that's all this was. Refusing to be destroyed. But it felt like more. Like I'd become something I never intended to be. Someone capable of systematic destruction. Someone who could watch his own daughter fall apart and feel nothing. Come to bed, Marilyn said gently. Tomorrow will be better. But she was wrong. The DA's office filed formal charges 3 days after Avery left. Attempted exploitation of an elderly person. Filing false statements in legal proceedings. Fraud. Elliot called to tell me. The arraignment is next week. They'll want you to testify eventually. Fine. Ray, you don't sound fine. I'm just tired. Second thoughts? No, just tired. But it wasn't tiredness. It was something else. A weight I couldn't name. I went through the motions. Work, home, dinner with Marilyn. Normal life. Except Nothing felt normal anymore. Martin Brooks tried one more time, showed up at my office. "This has gone far enough," he said without preamble. "I agree. Your son should have stopped it months ago. I'm talking about you. You've destroyed that girl's life. She tried to destroy mine first. She made mistakes. Young people do that. But this, criminal charges, you're taking it too far. I'm taking it exactly as far as the law allows. Ray, I'm asking you, as one father to another, to drop this. Let her rebuild her life." "Did you offer her the same advice when she was planning to steal mine?" His jaw tightened. "I didn't know the extent of what she was planning." "But you knew something. You tried to bribe me to go along with it. That was a settlement offer. That was you trying to buy my compliance. Now you want me to give her a free pass. Why should I?" "Because she's your daughter." "Not anymore," I said quietly. "She stopped being my daughter when she decided I was an asset to liquidate." He stared at me. "You're a cold man, Ray Holloway." "No. I'm just done being warm to people who want to burn me." He left. I sat at my desk and felt that weight grow heavier. Detective Brennan called that afternoon. "We found the doctor." "And?" "She claims Avery told her you'd consented to the evaluation. Said Avery brought her documentation that looked legitimate, forms with your signature, medical history. Doctor. Fisher thought she was doing a routine guardianship support eval. The signatures were forged. We know. Avery's admitting to that now. Says she was desperate, thought she was protecting you from yourself, made bad choices. Is that a defense?" "Her lawyer thinks so. They're arguing diminished capacity due to stress and family concern, that she genuinely believed you were declining and took inappropriate steps out of misplaced love." "That's ridiculous. You heard the video." "I know, but juries are unpredictable. If she gets a sympathetic judge, they might go easy on her." After the call, I found myself thinking about that. Easy. What would easy look like? Probation, community service, a slap on the wrist for trying to steal someone's entire life. Marilyn found me staring out the window. "Talk to me," she said. "What if she gets away with it? What if all of this was for nothing?" "It wasn't for nothing. You protected yourself. You stopped her." "But she doesn't pay?" "She's already paying, Ray. Look at what she's lost." "That's not justice. Maybe not legal justice, but it's consequences." She put her hand on my shoulder. "You can't control what the jury decides. You can only control what you do." "And what should I do?" "Whatever lets you sleep at night." But I wasn't sleeping. Not really. Lay awake thinking about Avery at 6 years old, bringing me dandelions. At 12, showing me her straight-A report card. At 25, asking me to walk her down the aisle. When did it all go wrong? Or was it always wrong, and I just didn't see it? The arraignment came. I didn't attend. Elliot went and called me after. She pled not guilty. Trial's set for 3 months from now. How did she look? Why do you care? I don't know, I just do. Scared. Small. Her lawyer's pushing for a plea deal. Thinks they can get it down to a misdemeanor. No, I said immediately. No deals. Ray, that's not your call. It's up to the DA. Then tell the DA I want to testify. I want a jury to hear everything. No deals. Silence on the line. Are you sure that's what you want? Elliot asked quietly. Yes. Because it sounds like you want revenge more than justice. Is there a difference? Yes. Justice is about being made whole. Revenge is about making the other person hurt as much as you do. Maybe I want both. That's what I'm afraid of. He hung up. I sat there with the phone in my hand, wondering if he was right. Was this about protection anymore, or had it become something darker? I thought about that anonymous text. You're welcome. Someone out there understood betrayal, understood what it meant to turn that betrayal into a weapon. Was I becoming that person? The kind who weaponized pain? My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but I did. Mr. Holloway? A woman's voice. Young, nervous. Yes? My name is Jennifer Crane. I'm Elliot's daughter. Is something wrong? Is he… No, Dad's fine. I'm calling because I think you should know something. What? Dad's worried about you. He thinks you're letting this consume you, and he's right. I've been helping him with your case. I've seen all the evidence. What your daughter did was terrible. But Mr. Holloway, winning this case isn't going to fix what's broken. I know that. Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, you're burning everything down to prove a point. And yeah, you'll win. But then what? You'll have money, property, legal vindication, but you won't have your daughter. You won't have whatever relationship might have been salvaged. There's nothing to salvage. Maybe not. But if there is, even a shred, you're destroying it. She destroyed it first. Two wrongs don't make a right, Mr. Holloway. That's something my dad taught me. Thought maybe you should hear it too. She hung up before I could respond. I sat there in the quiet house. Marilyn was upstairs. The TV was off. Just silence and my own thoughts. Jennifer was wrong. This wasn't about revenge. It was about justice, making sure Avery paid for what she tried to do. Except when I tried to convince myself of that, I heard her voice in my head. Winning this case isn't going to fix what's broken. The trial was 3 months away. 3 months to decide what kind of man I wanted to be at the end of this. The kind who destroyed his daughter completely, or the kind who took the win he already had and walked away. I didn't know, and that scared me more than anything Avery had done. 2 months before trial, the DA offered Avery a plea: misdemeanor fraud, 2 years probation, restitution of legal fees. Detective Brennan called to ask my opinion. It's not enough, I said. Mr. Holloway, I need you to think carefully about this. A trial means months of preparation. You'll have to testify, relive everything publicly, cross-examination won't be gentle, and there's no guarantee we win. I'll take that risk. Why? She's lost everything already. Career gone, marriage over, reputation destroyed. What more do you want? Admission, on record, that what she did was criminal. A plea does that. Not the same way. She sighed. All right, I'll tell the prosecutor. But Mr. Holloway, sometimes the win isn't worth the cost. After she hung up, Marilyn appeared in the doorway. I heard. And? I think you're making a mistake. You agree with them? That I should let her off easy? I think you're punishing yourself as much as her. Every day you spend fighting, this is a day you're not moving forward. I can't move forward until it's finished. It is finished, Ray. You won. The moment that judge denied her petition, you won. Everything after that is just you trying to make sure she suffers enough. She tried to take my life. And she failed. You're free. She's ruined. It's over. Let it be over. I can't. Why not? I didn't have an answer. Or I did, but couldn't say it out loud. Because if I stopped now, what did it all mean? The planning, the documentation, the systematic destruction of my own daughter. If I walked away now, had it all been necessary? Or had I just been cruel? Marilyn watched my face. You're afraid. Of what? Of what it means if you were wrong, if you went too far. She was right, and I hated that she was right. I need to see this through, I said finally. Then I'll support you. But Ray, when it's over, really over, you need to let it go, or it'll eat you alive. The next 6 weeks blurred together. Meetings with the DA, preparation sessions, going through evidence until I could recite it in my sleep. Elliot tried one more time to talk me down. Ray, Jennifer told me she called you. She did. And nothing changed. He leaned back in his chair. I've known you 20 years. You're one of the most reasonable men I've ever met. But this isn't reasonable, this is obsession. It's thoroughness. It's revenge. Maybe revenge is what justice looks like when someone tries to destroy you. No, justice is proportional. Revenge is excessive. You're being excessive. She tried to have me declared incompetent. She forged documents. She lied to courts. She laughed about manipulating me. Tell me what proportional looks like. This plea deal, that's proportional. She admits guilt. She faces consequences. You get vindication. Everyone moves on. Not enough. Ray, Elliot, are you my lawyer or not? He looked at me for a long time. I am, but I'm also your friend, and as your friend, I'm telling you this path leads nowhere good. Then as my lawyer, prepare for trial. He did. But our relationship changed after that. Professional instead of personal. He did his job, but the warmth was gone. 1 month before trial, I got a letter. Handwritten. Avery's handwriting. I almost threw it away. Almost. But I opened it. Dad, I know you don't want to hear from me. I know I have no right to ask anything. But I'm asking anyway. Please accept the plea deal, not for me. I deserve everything that's coming. But for you. Because every day this continues is another day you're living in anger instead of peace. I destroyed our relationship. I accept that. But don't let me destroy the rest of your life too. I'm sorry for everything. I know that means nothing now. But it's true. Please let this end. Avery. I read it 3 times, then put it in a drawer. Marilyn found it a week later when she was looking for stamps. You didn't tell me she wrote to you. Didn't seem important. Ray. What? This is your daughter begging you to show mercy. She didn't show me any. No, she didn't. But you're better than her. Or you were. Are you still? I don't know what I am anymore. Then figure it out, before you do something you can't undo. That night I couldn't sleep again. Got up at 2 a.m. and went to my office. Pulled out all the files, all the evidence, the timeline, the recordings, everything I'd built to prove my case. It was airtight, perfect. The work of someone who'd spent 40 years learning how to build impenetrable systems. But looking at it now, it felt hollow, like I'd built a fortress around nothing. What was I protecting anymore? I'd already won. Avery was already destroyed. The trial would just be hammering nails into a coffin I'd already sealed. My phone buzzed. Text from Jennifer Crane. 3 weeks until trial. It's not too late to choose differently. How did she know I was up? How did she know I needed to hear that? I typed back, "Why do you care?" Response came fast. Because my dad cares about you, and because I've seen what revenge does to people. It doesn't heal them, it just makes them emptier. What if she deserves it? Maybe she does, but do you deserve to spend the rest of your life being the man who destroyed his daughter? That's not justice, that's just mutual destruction. I stared at that text for a long time. Was she right? Was I destroying myself as much as Avery? I don't know how to stop, I typed. Yes, you do. You call the DA tomorrow and tell them to accept the plea. You let the legal system handle it from there. And then you start rebuilding your actual life. And if I can't forgive her, you don't have to. Forgiveness and letting go aren't the same thing. You can let go without forgiving. I sat there until dawn, thinking about that. Let go without forgiving. Was that possible? At 8 a.m., I called Detective Brennan. I need to talk to you about the plea deal. That's a start, Marilyn said. It doesn't have to be today. I folded the letter and put it in my desk drawer, not throwing it away, not answering it, just keeping it. A beginning of something, maybe not reconciliation, but not total destruction either. That night, Marilyn and I sat on the back porch, watching the sunset. Do you think you did the right thing? She asked. Looking back at all of it? I protected myself. That was right. But the rest of it? I thought about the recordings, the countersuit, the systematic dismantling of Avery's case, the courtroom, the plea, all of it. I did what I had to do. Maybe I could have done it differently. But she didn't leave me much choice. No, Marilyn agreed. She didn't. We sat in silence for a while. Then she said, Jennifer Crane called me yesterday. She did? Wanted to make sure you were okay. Said her father was proud of you for accepting the plea. Elliot said that? Not to you, but yes. He thinks you chose the harder path. Revenge would have been easier. Letting go took strength. I wasn't sure about that. Revenge had felt pretty hard too. But maybe she was right. Maybe walking away from total destruction took more courage than pursuing it. I'm glad it's over, I said finally. So am I. The sun dipped below the horizon. The sky turned orange and purple. Beautiful and temporary, like everything else. 3 months later, I ran into Dylan at the hardware store. He saw me first. Froze in the aisle, holding a package of light bulbs. I could have walked away. Should have, probably. But I didn't. Dylan, I said. Mr. Holloway. His voice was cautious, respectful in a way it never had been before. How are you? Fine. Good. I'm remarried, actually. That was fast. He had the grace to look embarrassed. Yeah, well, things happen. They do. Awkward silence. Then, I heard Avery's in Seattle. So I'm told. I haven't talked to her since the divorce, just so you know. We're not in contact. Why are you telling me this? He shifted his weight. Because I want you to know I'm not part of whatever she's doing. I made mistakes too, I know that. But I'm not that person anymore. Good for you. Mr. Holloway, I'm sorry. For my part in everything. I should have stopped her. Should have seen how wrong it was. I looked at him. Saw genuine remorse. Or a good performance. Hard to tell the difference sometimes. You're forgiven, I said. Not because you deserve it. Because I'm tired of carrying anger. He blinked. Thank you. I nodded and walked past him. Finished my shopping, drove home, told Marilyn about it over dinner. You forgave him? I said the words, not sure I meant them, but saying them felt better than not. That's growth. Is it? Or is it just exhaustion? Maybe both. A week later, Martin Brooks showed up at my office again. 3rd time. I was starting to think I should get a restraining order against him too. What do you want, Martin? To apologize. That surprised me. Go ahead. I enabled what happened. I knew Dylan and Avery were planning something. I should have asked more questions. Should have stopped it. Instead, I tried to bribe you. That was wrong. Yes, it was. I'm sorry, genuinely. I studied him, saw an old man trying to fix mistakes, trying to live with choices that led to destruction. Saw myself, maybe. Apology accepted, I said. He looked relieved. Thank you. But Martin, don't come back. We're done. Understood. He left. I sat at my desk feeling lighter. Forgiveness was strange. Didn't erase what happened. Didn't make us friends. But it closed doors that needed closing. That night, I pulled out Avery's letter again, read it for the 10th time. Marilyn found me with it. You're thinking about responding. Maybe. What would you say? I don't know. Something like, I hope you're well. Keep working on yourself. Maybe someday we can talk. That's more than I expected from you 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I was a different person. Better or worse? Different, I said. Just different. I got out paper and a pen. Wrote carefully. Avery, I got your letter. I'm glad you're getting help. Keep doing that. I'm not ready for contact yet. Maybe I won't ever be. But I don't wish you harm. I hope Seattle is good to you. Take care of yourself. Dad. I almost signed it Ray instead of Dad. But that felt like giving up something I wasn't ready to give up yet. Mailed it the next morning. Felt strange, final, and opening at the same time. 2 weeks later, I got a response. Just 3 words. Thank you, Dad. I put it with the others. a small collection of endings and beginnings. Life continued. Work, home, Marilyn. Simple things that felt profound now. I sold the business 6 months later, retired for real this time. Spent my days reading, working in the garden, taking walks. Elliot retired around the same time. We had lunch once a month. Never talked about the case. Talked about golf and grandkids and getting old. "You seem happy," he said one day. "I am." "Good. You earned it." "Did I?" "Yes, Ray. You did." Jennifer was at lunch with us that day. She'd taken over her father's practice. "Mr. Holloway, can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Do you regret how it all played out?" I thought about that. I regret that it happened. But no, I don't regret how I handled it. She forced every move. I just responded. And now? Now I'm living my life. That's all anyone can do. She smiled. Good answer. A year after the plea, Marilyn and I were planning a trip to Italy, something we'd always talked about, never made time for. 2 weeks in Tuscany, she said, showing me the itinerary. Wine country, small villages, no phones. Sounds perfect. Are you going to tell Avery we're going? Why would I? In case she needs to reach you for emergencies. She has your number, that's enough. Marilyn nodded, accepted that. You're really done, aren't you? With what? With her, with all of it. Yeah, I said. I think I am.